here in just a second when we get to the regular screen, and each player needs to do 2 bingos. One that's forced on him by their opponent, and one that they choose themselves. So we'll get to talking about that as soon as we get things going and we get the card going. Here we go. I just had to reload for a second. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. So both runners have forced column 2 on each other. And my guess is the reason why they're forcing column 2 is that 125 plus missiles is a lot of missiles. Also, they have to collect all 15 Norfair power bombs. Does not mean they have to fight Ridley, but they do need to actually go down to Lower Norfair because 2 of those power bomb packs are in Lower Norfair. They have to skip Spazer, which are probably both of them are saying, oh, heck, we don't care. They have to pick up the wreck ship reserve tank, which means they will have to get speed booster, and they do have to fully explore the wreck ship, which doesn't require a speed booster, but since they have to get the reserve tank, they will have to get speed booster. One of the reasons why I say I really should, this is not quite the, but I would go with, it depends on who my opponent is, but I know crossproduct hates that skip high jump boots tile. So I would have probably found a way to force that upon him, which, looking at row 2, which also has to collect all 15 Norfair power bombs, so that means he'd either have to get into Lower Norfair without high jump, which is a pain even if you do a gravity jump. He'd have to also collect X-ray scope and skip grapple beam, which is also a big pain. A little bit easier to do with high jump boots than without. But we got column 2 force, so we're going to see a whole lot of missile collection going on.
Yeah, I think looking at this card, just both players have the same strategy, that my opponent is capable of doing the things. I'm not going for difficulty. Just this is, to me, clearly the most time-consuming card. Not that you need to know particularly difficult tricks, but it forces you to go all over the map, collect a ton of stuff. You have to get speed booster, so some of these tiles no longer really work if you have a choice that you need to pick between the speed booster or not. I mean, difficulty-wise, there's definitely other ones, but like if for stuff like this, if people are entering a race like this, you assume they can do a lot of the tricks. So going for time consuming is probably a better strategy.
Yeah, and they both have their merits, but that's skip high jump boots. I mean, that slows you down. I would be shocked if either one of them chooses to do row 2. A lot of other interesting choices. 35 plus supers is a lot, so I don't know if they'd want to do row 4. But they're already in Lower Norfair, so screw attack would be pretty easy. The map stations are easy as long as you remember them. The last row, let's see. They're going to be in Lower Norfair, so they could defeat Ridley, but then you'd have to finish in the X-ray scope room, so maybe that's not such a good one.
I'm kind of looking at row 3 being a decent one to pair with column.
Yeah, that might be a good one. Brinstar Reserve is free. You'll have to choose a suit. And the Norfair Super Missile is a deceptive one, though. That means also you have to fight GT, so that might... But they're going to be in Lower Norfair, so we'll see.
So when you're thinking about bingo routing, are you always trying to go through the column you're picked, or are you willing to do 2 that don't intersect just because the routing fits?
Well, it's always preferable to have an intersection, but if you find a row or column that's close enough, that has enough easy stuff, then I wouldn't be adverse to doing a different column. Yeah. Cross product already picking up his second missile pack decides to go ahead and pick up those missiles. The missiles that in a casual run you typically would pick up second.
Yeah, I think with Ddraig skipping that one, planning to come back later, maybe he might be leaning towards that 25 power bomb, since that would get you the Brinstar power bomb as well.
Well, there's missiles in so many places that now I'm going to try and keep track of. I got a piece of paper here, and I've got to start putting some tick marks on here. We'll try our best to keep track of these missiles, but frankly, it's the hardest. I think it's the hardest tile for commentators and trackers. That 125 missiles. It's just trying to keep track of picking up 125 missiles. It's just awful.
I mean, it could be difficult just for while you're racing too. Easy to lose track if you never
Oh,
go to
absolutely.
chip.
Yeah, we saw in a race earlier this week where Sloters had to pick up 125 missiles, and after he finished, he went back just to confirm it.
Yeah, a lot of these goals that have a high count of collect this item, that's always a good idea, just to be 100% sure you didn't miss something.
Yep. And to the statement about a ROM hack, so yeah, and not only is there a ROM hack that displays items, there's also randomizers display the number of items or number of ammo you have. We can't do that here because a lot of us will play on a simple cartridge, so everybody's got to have the same thing. And if you don't have the ability to, if you don't have an SC2 SNES or a SNES Classic that allows you to, that's modded, it's a little harder to play a ROM hack. So we want people to be able to play on their regular cartridges, so that's not an option.
You see cross product getting into a little trouble with bomb chorizo, costing him some time. Although I've never really seen that attack pattern so early. But and Ddraig getting a little confused with the Alcatraz escape. Just even early in the game, you got to be on point with everything.
Yeah, Ddraig says, "Screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and bomb out of here the intended way."
That feels terrible every time you have to do that.
Yeah.
So while we're still early in the run and things aren't developing so much, are you familiar with either of these players or what kind of
Oh,
what they're
actually pretty familiar. Cross product is they both do a lot of randomizers. Cross product is really big, also in doing Link to the Past. He does a lot of the combo races, so it's entirely possible that his BT might have been a little bit weaker than usual because maybe he's used to. In randomizers, you often don't fight BT, and even if you do, you often have super missiles to do it. So makes it a lot easier. Ddraig's a newer runner from Wales. He also does a lot of randomizers. He was one of my co-admins on the randomizer league. Very good randomizer runner. Cross Product was also in that league. He was in the playoffs, lost in the first round. Ddraig, on the other hand, missed the playoffs by not a whole lot. So both very versed in randomizer, pretty similar players in terms of any percent. So the nice thing about being good at randomizer is it prepares you for not having a lot of items, because you don't
Yeah,
always get the right items for that. So
yeah, I can agree with that. It's playing randomizer just forced into a lot of situations, so you have to learn a lot of tricks because you just never know when you're getting too bad of a spot.
yeah, randomizers are interesting because sometimes they make the game so much easier by giving you a whole bunch of really nice items, and sometimes they just make it hard. Okay, so that'll be Cross with 3 missile packs, Ddraig with 2. And it looks like they'll both pick 2 more up here.
Seems good if you have to get the 125. Might as well get the. There's 3 in this little section alone. This
Yeah,
is a
exactly.
gold mine. You get super missiles. You can do everything.
Both also picking up the reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that row 3 is starting to look really good.
It made the most sense just for me looking at it. You have to be capable of choosing one of the 2 suits, which can be very
Nice, and
difficult.
both gain the mock ball out.
Yeah, I mean, alternatively, there is that chance that maybe they want to, instead of going for row 3, they could go for column 5. But I think getting the Prince Star Reserve, it's definitely one of the 2. I can't see why you would go through that 3 reserves tank.
Yeah, the screw attack would be free. Well, not free, but it'd be basically would be only a little bit easier than GT. But you're already going to lower Norfair, and they're both very familiar with gate glitching. But having to go get that Meridia power bomb, then, no, and they can do this. They can have their choice, basically, of which suit to get. They do not have to get gravity suit here. So if they wanted to just get various suit, they could get various suit. Both like I said, since they're both randomizer runners, they both know how to do lava dive. So okay, both picking up the big pink missiles, and I'm gonna assume they're both gonna pick up charge missiles. Ddraig now with 6, Cross with 5. Cross also does the nice setup to get the extra supers.
Yeah, do you think this might be for a goal going to get a sports one? So it does seem a little unusual to go get that.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. Let's see. There's a 35 plus super missile square. that they could do. Yeah, you know, that row 4 is not bad, but he already skipped the Brinstar map station. So if he had gotten that Brinstar map station, I would say row 4 get the super missiles. Although 35 plus super missiles would require wreck ship or Meridia.
Yeah, definitely some interesting routing that would involve that spore spawn super. I'm just not 100% sure of why you would go get that. Maybe thinking about doing column 1. It was always good to see though when you got these. Like you look at the diagonals and they're not anything that really makes it difficult to decide. I always feel like those are a little harder to plan the routing on just because it's less obvious what you're looking.
Okay, I've got Cross with 7 missiles and Ddraig with 7. I might have miscounted somewhere.
Yeah, Ddraig has 7 as well.
Okay. Was there one that Cross skipped that Ddraig got? So Cross should have 8 if he got all the missiles that Ddraig got. Since he got that earlier one. So I'm going to say that Cross is 8.
Definitely possible. I'm trying to keep track of it, but
Yeah, I know, it's really hard.
Drake faked me out a little bit. I thought he
yeah,
maybe
I know.
going for Spazer.
Oh, Crossprock's going to go up. This is interesting.
This is making me think Cross maybe considering just going for that early wreck ship and making the choice only to get.
Yeah, maybe he's going to get his power bombs now. I don't like the. Normally, I think wreck ship first is a good play so long as you have the ability to do it, and Cross certainly does. Here, I don't like it because he has to pick up that reserve tank, and he's not going to have speed booster to do it. So, going to wreck ship first means he's going to have to backtrack all the way back up there.
Yeah, I wonder if he is going for this early gravity, it might be a plan to go to get all of Norfair done and end at that reserve tank.
Could be. He used to do most of the Norfair escape, but that's such backtracking. Well, we'll see what happens.
Ddraig seems like he is committing to getting that Varia done though, so always interesting to see stuff when you don't want to get gravity. Terrifying. I wouldn't do it.
Well, okay, Cross with another missile. Okay, me, if I don't have to go to Meridia, is if I can skip gravity and get Varia suit instead, I'm fine with it. As long as I don't have to do deep Meridia.
Yeah, I always try to get my routes where it's like I'm going to Norfair or I'm going to Meridia. If I have to do both, it seems like a bad.
Yeah. I mean, in particular, lower Norfair. Upper Norfair is not too bad, but yeah, you don't want to have to do. You don't want to have to do both lower Norfair and Meridia if you can choose not to do both. Okay, Crossproduct picking up another power bomb.
Yeah, and it makes me think he is leaning towards the 25 power bombs because these aren't the Norfair one.
Mm-hmm. With these power bombs, he can actually do a lot of Brinstar cleanup before even doing a boss. And actually, this is one of the interesting things here is you don't really. The only thing you'd kill a boss for at all in this setup is to get one of those suits.
Yeah, you see Cross is returning.
Yeah.
Looks like he might be going back to Brinstar or might get Varia. Curious to see where he's going to go from here. But I'm not really thinking why he got those power bombs so early before he came down here. But Ddraig decided going straight down, get Varia suit, and go like the more normal.
Okay, Draig's gonna go ahead.
Small heart attack.
Yeah, looks like Ddraig will go get those high jump boots.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on that first indication that might say what the second row these players are going for is what they're looking at. It does seem like Cross is also going to get the variant. Neither player wanted to do the early wreck ship. It doesn't make a lot of sense having to get that reserve tank, so I agree with it.
Yeah, get the speed booster, then go back up to the wreck ship. You could choose to skip either suit, but in this case, it's probably easier just go ahead and skip that gravity suit if you're comfortable going to lower Norfair without. Ddraig gonna get the infamous cathedral missiles.
Sometimes I just cannot remember the names of some of these rooms. Like this one, couldn't tell you if you put a gun.
That's okay. Okay, now crossproduct picking up his various suit. So if he's doing row 2, he's not going to be able to go get the gravity suit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep an eye on what these players are going for. See if there's anything that isn't like to me. I got them pegged them for both on row 3, which is interesting that they had a route deviation, but hopefully something makes itself apparent on why they're choosing something else. Maybe that 3 reserves tank over in that upper right section, but I don't really like that square or the rows it's attached to.
Yeah, cross product will be able to pick up an extra missile here that Ddraig will never come back for. Okay, right now I have both at 50, but that may or may not be correct. I won't swear it's correct.
Yeah, I can confirm nor deny. I thought I had a Ddraig at 45, but if you got 50.
Yeah, like I said, I can't say for sure. It's really hard when you're watching both. Hopefully our trackers will be able to keep track. Spaghetti Toast Book, one of our esteemed trackers, says Ddraig has 50, so go with 50.
Sounds good to me. It looks like I thought Ddraig considering getting the wave beam, deciding not to. Wonder if that is pegging into his route that he needs to keep that bottom right square in.
Yeah, there's also the collect only one of wave and charge, and he's already got charge, so that square also is a thing. I probably would have gone ahead and skipped the wave beam, even though the gate glitch here is not too bad. There's a lot of missiles you can pick up over a croc, so I suspect that's where he's going next. There's 3 missile packs you can get over here.
And also some additional power bombs, including some of those Norfair ones. And Cross also getting his high jump boots.
Yeah, cross product's never going to skip high jump boots given a choice.
It's not that difficult. I think it's fun to have to like use ice beam or bomb jumps to get around things. Even if it's not fast, it's part of me hopes they're both doing the same thing, but because they've had very different routing decisions, so if they're aiming for the same goals, I'd be curious to see how.
And I personally might have gone for that rope. Except, like I said, they both skipped the Brinstar map station already, so.
Yeah, I think if I ever have to do a row with a map station, I'm probably going to pull up a map on Google.
It is allowed and has been done. You wouldn't be the first person.
I've already done it in the past. Like anything where it's like collect all the things in Brinstar, I'm like, I can't remember them all. I should.
Yeah.
Cross going over to get his speed booster, required item for the row they were. Now, if you're Ddraig here, would you go get the grapple beam? Does it do anything?
Not really. I mean, it makes your entrance into the wreck ship a little bit easier, but they've got speed boosters, so don't really need it.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of why you might get it is for the easy kill on Dragon.
And they're not going to fight Ddraig. They have speed
I
booster to
hope
get to the
not.
wreck ship. They're not going to fight Ridley, so they don't need the farm beam, so to speak. Okay. Did cross product pick up those missiles before before speed booster? I gotta believe he did. I'll give him
I believe
55.
so. I've crossed at 60 right now.
And the other reason would be this area is a little bit easier to get out of. But with speed booster and high jump boots, you can do that nice little wall jump that Ddraig did.
Cross going towards the wave beam.
If nothing else, he can pick up the missile here.
Yeah, this one seems like it might be a little bit out of the way. Like 125 is a lot of missiles, but there are a lot in the game as well.
It's
You got
200, yeah, 230 total missiles, so he is going to pick up wave beam. So he's definitely knocking himself out of row 5 or column 5. And since he's got charge beam, he won't be doing... Where is that other square? Row 4, sorry, row 2 or column 4.
And getting wave beam always nice if you're one of the players that didn't want to learn Doppler, just to make fancy fight easier, or have X Factor for other boss fights. Just even if you just maybe want to relive in the past a little bit.
Yeah. And I don't think Ddraig picked up any of those missiles down there by Crocomire. He just got the power bombs, which are required. So Crocomire is required here.
I'm trying to keep track.
Yeah.
I think I got crossed at 70 missiles, and Ddraig I think I still have 50. But he's going up towards the power bombs now, so you'll be able to get a couple.
We'll be able to get another one over here. Crossprog, meanwhile, is going to go fight his Crocomire fight. Okay, Spaghetti confirming that Ddraig has 55 now.
Yeah, we still have cross at 70. So we got Ddraig doing a little bit of item collection, and Cross kind of hitting some of the stuff Ddraig did earlier because he had to go out of the way to get the power bombs a little bit ahead of time. So if you're doing the bingo, what kind of stuff are you trying your best to not do? Like, what is the kind of routing that's like, this is so not worth the time? Is there any particular goal you'd never do?
There's nothing I would never do. My main thing is I don't want to have to go to too many different areas. So if I can avoid a wreck ship, if I can avoid Meridia, if I can avoid Lower Norfair, you can't avoid Brinstar, Criteria, or Upper Norfair, really. But those other three, anytime you can avoid one or more of those, you're doing good. So like in my race the other night, last week, I was able to completely avoid Meridia and the wreck ship, and that just, for me, that was the big thing. Not having to go to those places just saved a lot of time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you see both players cross way earlier, and Ddraig just now getting both of those power bombs. So I think they might both be going for that 25 power bomb square.
And that makes a lot of sense because they have to get 15 already. So you might as well just grab 2 more and get that square.
Well, that doesn't always indicate exactly what they're going for. I've seen plenty of players midway through just to change their mind. Well,
it happens.
I'd say right now I definitely like the Ddraig, what he's doing a little bit more, though, not having to go up and then back down anyway. So he can go straight to the wreck ship and get that out of the way.
Yeah, but he'll get those missiles he flew over on his way back, I suspect, so.
Absolutely. And then there's also the ones in the water beneath it. There's a couple in the wreck ship. Curious to see what he's going to get. Ooh, missed the shine mark, though. Never feels good.
Yeah, I find the horizontal shine sparks the most difficult shine sparks in the game. The vertical ones are just free, and then the ones that are the diagonal ones, you see the shoulder button. Okay, cross-product picking up a missile that Ddraig did not.
Yep.
See if he grabs grapple.
Seems like he's not in the mood for it. And that makes sense. Like, there's no reason to grab it if you both get speed booster and you're not planning to go to Meridian.
Ddraig getting the so-called spooky missiles, because it's the one item you can pick up in the wreck ship before you defeat Phantoon. Cross-product with the cosine missiles.
So many verb names. It's unbelievable.
Well, if you know a little math, cosine's easy.
No,
I
I
shaped
get
like
the
a
names.
cosine.
There's very few names that are just, I have no idea where this came from, but there's definitely that room, not one of them.
Well, some of these names have been around for a long time, a lot longer than a lot of us have been playing. Or I shouldn't say have been playing, since I've been playing since day one, but since playing it
Cross
seriously.
is going back, looking like he is going to grab that grapple after the fact.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to grab it. It's not that far out of the way if you're already grabbing those extra missiles. Ddraig, on the other hand, didn't go for the extra missiles down there. For him, it would have been more out of the way. He maybe didn't think about getting those missiles. Oh, and gets that best mock ball of the game. But the real reason why he picked up the grapple beam is just to show off that mock ball.
That's not the best mock ball. The one leaving Kraid when he gets the elevator. That one feels the best. It's not even close.
Ooh, and Ddraig not looking good on energy right now for Phantoon. He's got to be careful here.
It does have the reserve, but I don't know how much are in them. But especially if both players are big for randomizer, they certainly face Phantoon with all the items that you can imagine.
And only 32 in the reserve. He can take one hit at this point. Very smartly goes ahead and drains that reserve manually, because if you get hit, you don't have iframes while the reserve tank is going, so you can take another hit while it's going and just be dead.
Very unfortunate. Ddraig doesn't have a super, so you can do the slow but safe way to kill Phantoon off by hopping through the jump rope.
Oh, this is bad.
Come on, Ddraig. Come on, Ddraig.
Get that energy. He's still one hit from...
Dramatic.
Okay, got some nice, good, timely, big health drops there. And more importantly, he doesn't have the super to finish Phantoon off when he gets down to that last 600 energy. And he makes it through.
Flushing it out through that fight.
Oh my god.
You only had to take an extra round. And it is a little bit fortunate, because if you killed him with very low health, you don't get any useful drops, just health, which can make the next part going forward a bit of...
Oh, Cross is already heading down to lower Norfair. Look at this. Alright.
What a champion.
Very nice lava dive.
Seeing him in Norfair, didn't get the gravity suit, makes me think exactly what I was thinking, that he's going to do all the Norfair and finish with that Rex ship.
That is certainly a choice. Okay, Ddraig picking up some super missiles. So my guess is Cross is going to go down here. He's going to pick up the power bombs he needs to pick up. He's going to pick up that super missile by killing GT. Which, by the way, is another reason why you want that charge beam, because there's a real nice setup where you can just stand there and just fire against GT as many times as you want to. And if you have charge beam, you don't have to worry about anything. And that also is a reason why he might have grabbed that grapple beam, because another strategy for killing GT is to fire off supers. Farm the little balls that GT throws up there with the grapple beam, and just to refill that. Picks up screw attack.
And you see Ddraig picking up the other wreck ship super.
Yeah, so I mean, he's He still could go for that fourth row if he wants to backtrack to those map stations, but I just don't see that happening.
Well, Ddraig is going to. It looks like he is getting that fully explored wreck ship right now. So
Yep.
once he gets out of the wreck ship, then we'll get to see what he's going for.
Yeah, you see how Cross is going ahead and farming. I need to wonder, did he actually pick up the charge beam? Because he's in the right.
I thought he did, but now that I'm watching,
Hmm.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, because he could just sit there and charge beam GT to death. I mean, it takes a while, but so does farming, so he's in the right spot where you just sit there and just fire charge beams until GT is dead.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's easy to just not pay attention to, because usually with that square where you gotta
Yeah.
choose between wave or charge, almost everyone chooses charge. Ddraig has to be very careful in this. Having such little health, this is a terrifying way to go through the game.
Absolutely. The one good thing is he will get. This is actually another place where grapple beam would have helped him out. Is getting this energy tank. Okay, crossproduct getting that Norfair super missile. Ddraig is going to turn off his high jump boots to make these jumps easier. Oh, and he already falls. Oh no, Ddraig. Oh no. If he had one, oh god, he should have picked. If he had one more power bomb pack, he could do a crystal flash. But no, he's fine. Gets the energy tank, no problem.
Just wants to make it entertaining for the crowd. I respect the sport.
Okay, crossproduct finishing up GT.
I don't think he got the screw attack.
He got the screw attack. He picked that up before GT.
Oh, fantastic.
I mean, you might as well. It's right there. It's 7 seconds.
You never know how small of a margin there's going to be, especially if both players are doing the same run.
This is true.
Like he's doing trying to get the wall jump here. Always a little tricky sometimes. Having ice beam for that always makes me feel more.
And crossprod going down to the missiles, the mouse missiles of Mickey.
You mean the 1% that makes you fail 100%? This is the one. If I'm gonna forget something, it's this one.
Yeah, no, there's lots of places you can forget. Okay, heading down to amphitheater. This is also a scary room. Since he doesn't have gravity suit, he has to be fast enough that he does not get caught by this acid. The acid, the nice thing about gravity suit is you can move through the acid even though you're still getting damage. Not so with the Varia suit, so crossproduct doing a very nice job, keeps way ahead, and is just fine.
Very clean movement through that room. Easy set up a little bit for his speed to run in to get over that first pirate when he walked in, so that way he wouldn't have to worry about the very beginning.
Okay, I suspect he's now going to head down, pick up his power bombs of shame, which are not a lot less shameful when you have to pick them up. And then he'll head right out.
I mean, we don't have to call them power bombs of shame. Sometimes it's intended routing, and you just didn't tell anyone it.
Okay, picks him up. And that's it for Lower Norfair for crossproduct. I actually really like the way he routed this.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like after seeing it happen, it definitely makes a lot of sense.
I still think that going up Red Tower initially was not the best way to go, but this routing where he's doing Lower Norfair and then going to go up to the wreck ship, I really like this.
I mean, so when you leave through Lower Norfair and go through the secret exit, you do end up pretty close to the wreck ship, so this might be one of those, it looks bad at first, but once it's all done, it just makes a lot of sense.
Okay, Ddraig picking up some more missiles. Now, to the question about did he save, I don't know who you're referring to. I have not seen any saves on either run.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought. I haven't seen a single one yet.
Crossproduct picking up the missile, and now he just has to get the so-called power bombs in jail. That'll finish both his power bomb squares.
Rooms like this where Cross is at right now just were a nightmare playing this as a kid casually. Like, how do you get through this? And then you finally
With
see
spring ball, of course.
Spring ball. Listen, let's not talk about spring ball. Spring ball is a great item, and it gets more hate than it.
It's not the spring ball that most people hate. It's its location that most people hate. To be fair.
I mean, that is the closest thing you get to a cutscene in this game.
Okay, Ddraig makes it over to bowling. And if he is also going for that row 3, he's going to need to make sure he jumps over the gravity suit. Whereas I expect cross product will just end there.
Yeah, I think I haven't been keeping exact track of his missiles, but it seems like he's going to be on pace to finish it up while he's in the wreck ship.
I'm counting 100 missiles for cross product right now. Last ice, Ddraig still has a lot more to pick up. I have Ddraig at 70, so if the trackers want to confirm some of those numbers. Okay, that should be 75 for Ddraig. By my count. I could be missing some. He certainly doesn't have less.
I see Cross
Ddraig has 80,
up.
okay.
Okay, Cross going up to get these missiles over by that reserve, but not getting both, just the...
Yeah, just the one. That's interesting.
I think it sounds like he's got this very mathed out, which a skill I wish I could have to plan things out that far in advance to do the kind of route he did. But with it, you see the time and how close he is to finishing. This seemed like very good routing. I don't want to play him later in the tournament.
No, I really like the routing that cross product has done here, but he still needs some more missiles, so it'll be interesting to see where he picks them up. He's not going to go through Meridia here because doesn't have a gravity suit, so he's got a few more other places where he's going to have to get his other missiles. Okay, Ddraig picking up another missiles in the ocean.
I mean, so Cross didn't go to the wreck ship yet, right?
No, right. He's yeah, good point. The exact same making in chat. He has the ocean missiles. He has several missiles in the wreck ship area, plus.
And the ones on the moat.
Yeah, the ones on the moat. So a lot of missiles right on his path. If it were me, I'd probably just pick up all of them just to make sure. Let's see if Ddraig goes back and gets these missiles here. Oh.
That's the worst feeling.
Yeah, he's going to take off his high jump boots to get these. Because really, the thing about high jump boots, they make you jump higher, but without them, you actually, when there's a ceiling above you, you can make a much larger leap horizontally.
Yeah, the one time I always make good use of that is when, like Ddraig was earlier in the wreck ship, gets that E-tank if you don't have grapple.
I believe Ddraig did fully explore the wreck ship. Because he had to get the reserve. Oh, wait, did he do the ones with the worker robots?
I believe so, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I was watching cross product for a lot of that area. Okay, thanks, Lexa. Yeah, so the question was, did he do the attic missile? And that's what I call the most annoying room of the game, where you have to deal with those worker robots and get them out of the way. Crossproduct using the grapple beam to get across. And not really surprised that he's gonna get these ocean missiles.
No, but he's got a map out where he doesn't need the oceans, just missed the jump.
Yeah, he missed the jump. I'm kind of surprised. I would have just gone and gotten them if I missed the jump. Make it look like it's on purpose, right?
Across a person of honor, not gonna try to lie. Definitely interesting to see that he was trying to avoid that shine spark, keep his health up, and then gave
Yep.
up and just did it instead of just
Yep.
taking out the high jump and making the jump.
Or just using the intended strat with the grapple beam.
That's not what you use the grapple beam for. Like, what game were you playing?
When I played this game, there were no strats. There were just intended strats because it was brand new.
Absolutely.
None of this stuff had been figured out. And even if it had been, there wasn't enough internet presence back then for me to look it up.
The
Like, I
only
had no internet. Well, I mean, we did have internet. I did not use it except for schoolwork.
that sounds boring.
And Cross is going to go to the map station ahead of time because he just needs the tile. And do this. Oh, was looking to do the swag speedball into the entrance and didn't quite get it. So he just uses bombs. This energy count, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much he has in the reserves, but he does have enough ammo to do a shine spark or a crystal flash.
Not sure I'd want to do a crystal flash in the middle of a Fantoon fight, though. It would not be my first choice.
I would choose it over dying.
Oh, absolutely. But it might be that you end up doing both because you mess it up. Okay, interesting that Drake's gonna go for this missile. I would not. This is a tricky one to pick up.
If you don't get it, once you enter the room, definitely could be difficult to get it.
I don't know what Cross has in his reserve tank, but he's down to. Oh, about
Yeah,
to find out.
had enough.
Oh, and he's still got those. Oh, this is really bad. He's still got those X factors going, and he can't fire a shot and done. Okay, now they're done.
I mean, having screw attack does make it easy to avoid all the fireballs. You don't have to hold the charge.
Easier, yeah.
Easier.
Okay, he's done. Both of them with these very, very sketchy Fantoon fights.
Yeah, I mean, I like seeing these fights where they are a little more difficult, showing off the player's skill, especially if they're randomizers. Like, they know what to do in these situations where like, this is going a little south. I don't have all the items I'm looking for. Always neat to see the strategies they're going to use to get through these difficult situations.
Okay, I've got Ddraig at 100. I wish these guys would farm up, you know, just to let us know.
I mean, Ddraig was nice and did go to the wreck ship earlier and showed 85 before he went to.
I got both of them at 101. I'm just not sure I have that right though.
I'm not either. Trying to watch these guys do these boss fights and things, it started getting hard to keep track.
Okay. Link Force says that Drake's at 100 now. So I have one extra. Possibly. And Link Force saying Cross is at 120.
Cross taking a save to save here before he goes for that E-Tank. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that... Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's so close to the end. It is perfectly allowed to watch your opponent. So if he's watching what Ddraig is doing, he should know that he's pretty far ahead. Since Ddraig has not touched lower Norfair. And it's probably about to head there right now.
Yeah, you can see Cross here taking the ultra safe, no damage boosts, no nothing. It's going to have the grapple beam that gets this E-Tank. Just making sure he finishes the race.
Yeah, that room is called Spiky Room of Death for a reason. So.
Yeah, I think those platforms do infinite damage. I think that's the number.
It feels like that sometimes. Getting the E-Tank, that'll help him survive the spikes at the bottom here. Although the enemy, the little fish down here. Oh, okay, Cross, you do need to hit you gotta get those tiles. If anybody was watching a real cutie versus Rumblemans, that was a real cutie made that mistake of skipping those tiles and ended up resetting.
Oh no, that's the worst.
Yeah.
This is definitely an interesting route to see, though, from Cross. It seems to have worked out very well given the time and how much they had to collect and do.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
really
think I would have done the power booms early.
yeah, in retrospect, I didn't think about going to Lower North first. I thought about, go do the wreck ship and then come back to Lower Norfair. In retrospect, having seen him do this, if that ever comes up, I'll do what he did. I think what he did, I liked the routing. It was much cleaner. And to get that Lower Norfair done, having only one trip into Norfair instead of having to go there twice. So he's going to open this door so that he doesn't have to worry about it the next time through. I don't know if he opened it or not. So we can't hear the sound on his end. We got Drake's sound. But I'm going to assume that he did open it because he certainly did shoot at it. And he would have heard whether it opened or not.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be on the left side to kill the enemies anyway. It'd be weird not.
And the other thing about this route is having that screw attack just makes things so much safer. Ship. That attic room is a real nasty room when you have to worry about, getting hit and stuff. When you have that screw attack, just makes life so much easier.
Cross skipping those missiles at the end of that hallway with the vertical robots. I'm curious to see what his missile count's at, where he felt like that was a fine thing.
He's gonna go pick up the ones over here on the outside in the maze area, I think, or not.
Yeah. I'm thinking if he's
Oh
at
no,
120,
he
he
needs
gets
these
one
tiles.
on the way.
He needs
Yeah, but
these
he didn't
tiles
grab
first.
the missiles while I was right there, so I'm curious what he was at.
Well, with those worker robots, you still have to get past one more. It's just such a time sink. This is an easier one to pick up, I think. And if he is at 120, which is what Link Force, our tracker, says, then I suspect that he'll pick this one up and be done.
Because this
Soon
is
as
the
he gets
5
through.
before the reserve tank as well, so.
Right. And he'll probably run right into those. Cross product asking done on item touch or when the box goes away. So in SRL,
I believe it's during the fanfare, correct?
No, Balthazar confirming in SRL that it's on the item touch. So, on the other hand, but if he's going to end in the gravity suit room, that's maybe he. I don't know. We'll see. If he has 125 missiles, he doesn't need any more items. You just need. Oh, maybe he's going to end it at the wreck ship reserve. Grab the gravity suit room right now, and then go up. Yeah, maybe that's what he's doing.
It would make sense that way.
Okay, yeah, he's going to go in here first. Yeah, there's less backtracking involved here. And if you're wondering why Ddraig is firing off all these missiles right now, that little lasery moon-shaped attack that GT is doing, he won't do that once you get down below 30 missiles.
I actually did not know that.
Okay, so now that attack won't happen anymore. Crossproduct picking an extra set of missiles. Shine sparks up, reveals the reserve tank, and Crossproduct is done with an official SRL time of 48:34. GG to Crossproduct.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely, from watching these guys, it looks like they're doing the same routing, like as far as the 2 rows. But cross product with the foresight to get those bombs ahead of time makes the routing so much cleaner. And it looks like he's heading to the mothership just to make sure.
Yeah, just to do that confirmation that he does indeed have 125 missiles. And we'll just wait for him to do that to just double check.
I'm actually just amazed. Like, they're doing the same rows, and that was like the one major route difference. But the amount of time saved looking at this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see that 125 missiles cross.
Well, I think it's 130 because you grabbed the extras.
Yeah, no, it's exactly one time. 125. Well done, cross product.
Absolutely. That's unbelievable, though. Like, this is always the thing that scares me about doing bingo is that it's easy to just pick rows if you're doing a regular bingo, but when you gotta do the double ante, you need a bag of tricks to do things quickly in a way that's gonna win.
Well, yeah, and you also want to go ahead and yourself in such a way that it complements the row you're doing. Because, like, if you're assigned something that involves, say, killing Ridley, you don't want to also have to go to Dragon.
Definitely. Like that's the biggest thing I'm always looking out for. Meridia or Norfair, not both. I can't imagine any situation where you're doing both.
1 second.
Cross product joining us. GG.
Hey, what's up? Thank
So,
you.
Okay,
GG.
so in SRL, you said you made 2 routing mistakes. I'm guessing the first one was up Red Tower.
Yeah, going up Red Tower. I forgot that I was going to have to fight Crocomire anyway and get those PBs.
Okay, I thought maybe you were thinking of going to Fantoon early and realized
No,
you didn't get your ship reserve.
There were way too many Norfair value tiles here. Like, I can get Varia suit. I mean, the row 3 was great. Row 4 was the first one I was looking at. And I actually, outside of the map stations, I pretty much did row 4. It would have just, basically it was between 25 power bombs or 35 super missiles. Obviously, you got a bunch of super missile packs in Rex ship.
Yep.
You'd have to skip 3 super missile packs, so
Ddraig.
wouldn't be going into Meridia. So you'd have to backtrack to Edicoons and climb supers. And then I saw row 3 and I was like, that's even better.
Yeah, I was looking at both of those rows too, and I realized you likely weren't doing row 4 because you'd skip that Brinstar map station pretty early on. But yeah, so what was the second? So the first one was going up and getting the power bombs because you could get them at Croc. But what was the other?
The other one was almost skipping grapple beam.
Oh,
I was like, man, grapple beam would be nice to get across the acid snake stream, but I don't really need it. I'll just skip it. Then I'm like, but I'll have to fight Gold Torizo with 10 supers and no beam upgrades. I'll have to get in a wreck ship. I'll have to get to wreck ship B tank. Like, okay, I do want this grapple beam. I wasn't too far out of the way. It cost me, I think, basically just cost me 2 door transitions. That was a big time loss on that.
Looks like
we saw that you were thinking about not doing it, and then you went back for it. And while Ddraig in the same situation,
did Ddraig go wreck ship first?
Not first, but he did go do wreck ship before Lower Norfair. And actually, that was the route that I hadn't thought about doing that, and I really like that routing decision where you decided to do Lower Norfair before going up wreck ship.
Yeah. And that's depending on what other row you're going for, you might not be able to get Gravity and Varia. I don't know. If you're going center tile, I guess there's in a lot of rows, huh? Right. Yeah. Why it's the center tile.
Yeah, I thought you might be doing the Lower Norfair first and ending the wreck ship when you got the early power bombs, but hearing a routing mistake, that just seems coincidental at this point.
Yeah, I just forgot. I forgot that one of those power bomb packs I had to pick up was Crocomire. Basically, you have 2 options for your first power bomb pack, Red Tower or Croc.
Okay, how you doing, Ddraig?
I'm not too bad. How's everyone else?
Pretty good.
Good.
It's a very interesting race. You guys look like you're both going for the same route, but in a very different ways.
Same row,
so
yeah.
Really interesting.
You're going for row 3, Ddraig?
I went for exactly what you got. The mistake I made was I forgot to go to Lower Norfair before I left Norfair.
Oh no!
And then I remembered as I was fighting Fantoon, which is why I said to you I had the worst Fantoon fight.
Yeah, both your Fantoon fights are kind of sketchy, I have to say.
No, my Fantoon fight was great. I nailed those X factors. It wasn't my fault. I got robbed.
Mine was a lesson in survival.
No, anytime the reserve tag gets used, it's sketchy. Don't defend yourself.
Oh man.
But anytime you survive Fantoon, I guess.
Well, even if I get double hit, it's only 80 damage. I knew I had full reserves because I had to farm up the super missiles. for Green Gate Glitch.
Oh, crossproduct. How certain were you at the 125 missiles?
Like 99%. I have a like. I'm just keeping a tally on my screen of how many I picked up, and then I was like, because I did skip the attic missiles.
Yep.
And then as I was leaving, because I was coming up to wreck ship, and I was like, okay, I need 3 missile packs. There's one in my way in reserve room, okay. There's one on the moat, okay. And then I had to pick the third one, and I was like, bottom of ocean? No. Oh, I can get the middle ocean one. And I settled on that one, just completely forgetting there was a missile pack in a room that I had to fully explore. And I still, as I was leaving that room, I still didn't pick it. I was like, back to the door in the work robot room, and I was like, okay, well now what's easier, running across these conveyor belts or just getting the middle ocean missiles? So I decided on the middle ocean, but I did go back to the ship to refill just in case.
Nice. Yeah, I think I actually quite appreciate you doing that, because we're like, we think he's got 125, but just makes everybody's life.
Did
Yeah,
I
it
miss
just makes
any
everybody's
tiles in
life
the
worse.
ship? I almost missed one in the E-tank room. I jumped a little too far out. I had to backtrack for it.
I mean, if you want to check your wreck ship right now, you can. You can pause.
I have to get over there.
You have to go back to the wreck ship.
It was fantastic routing from you. I thought the early power bombs were intentional though, but
no,
it's just
that was a mistake.
No, I have to say I kind of thought that was a mistake, but it worked out.
The traciness.
Also, Ddraig, how seriously did you consider making Cross with this? I looked at this card and I said, I'll tell you, Cross, what I would have given you, and Ddraig, I want you to comment on this. I'd have given you row 2.
It's a skip high jump boot.
Because it's skip high jump boots, plus the collect X-ray scope and skip grapple beam with no high jump boots.
Yeah, I mean,
I turn
it's not hard.
I turn off high jump boots to get that item.
That's fair. Right, because if you do the deboosting, but still. But the skip high jump boots right there, I'd be like, yeah, it's cross product. I need to find a way to make him skip those high jump boots.
Yeah,
I mean,
Meridia Power Bomb.
considered.
Honestly, Meridia Power Bomb and Screw Attack are both kind of out of the way, so I could see maybe column 4. Because, especially then you're making me go into Meridia without high jump boots and forcing me to get gravity.
Yeah, the column 5, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Column 5, yeah.
Yep, that's a...
It looks pretty explored to me.
Column 5 and column 2 were the 2 main ones I considered. I went for column 2 just because of the amount of collection, really.
Yeah, it's a lot of
that's
collection.
a fair statement.
A lot of collection plus wreck ship reserve tanks always a good tile to give out.
Yeah,
and that
forces you down before you can go up. So
yeah, and that 15 Norfair power bombs is pretty nasty to have to go to lower Norfair just for the power bomb.
I thought maybe one of you might have done row 1 as the give it to the opponent, because that's still the 125 missiles, but a lot of them are big.
Yeah, 3 reserve tanks. Ugh.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I think,
to be honest, there's a lot of good rows and columns on this board. It was harder to choose a bad one to give away.
Row 1 probably would have ended up being having to do 2 sand pits, because you're probably not going to get the wreck ship reserve tank. So you'd have to get the sand pit out of one tank, or you'd have to get the reserve tank out of the left sand pit and the power bomb out of the right sand pit.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't get that speed booster, so now that wreck ship reserve is out. So you're forced to get the other 3 reserve tanks.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Is there a goofy way of getting that? I know there's a way to crystal flash into gravity suit. I did not know of a way to do that into the reserve tank.
You can crystal flash into gravity suit? That's considered out of bounds, I would think, though, right?
That I cannot say for sure, but it is doable.
You have to kill Fantoon anyway, so...
Well, to pick it up, yeah, but to get the room, no.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I I'm not an admin in this tournament, so I couldn't tell you for sure whether that's legal or not, but it is doable. But as far as I know, there's no way to get that wreck ship reserve tank without speed booster.
You should check out a 100% dashless run then.
Oh, spike suit.
Is that a I didn't know that was a thing.
You and your spike suit.
It's not a spike suit. It's an elevator flash suit into
okay, flash suit. Okay, got it. I always get my my suits of that nature mixed up.
One's blue, one's yellow.
Okay. Okay, you guys got anything else to add before? Actually, while you guys add anything you might want to add, I'm going to look at the schedule, see what's coming up.
All right, I'm going to head out then. Thank you very much for the commentary, the restreaming and tracking in there.
Yeah, same. And GG Cross. Good luck on the rest of the tournament, man.
GG, thank you.
Good luck to you too. Remember, there's a loser's bracket. You can run the.
Oh yeah, there is a loser's bracket.
There is a loser's bracket. You're not done yet.
Okay. Man, and I thought I'd beat a Nightwolf out of the tournament.
Hey, don't speedrun that. That's a bad goal to speedrun.
I mean, in fairness, I only said that to him because when I looked at my opponent, I was like, ooh, I'm going to lose that. And I did, so. But yeah, like I say, it turns out there is a loser's bracket, which I forgot about.
Okay, so we do have... At the moment, we only have one more match scheduled tomorrow night between Cheese Reaver and Lexosaurus Rex at 7 o'clock on Monday. There was some chatter in the Discord about possibly a match later on tonight that has not been scheduled yet, to my knowledge. So keep an eye out for that. It might happen, it might not. Let's see where is. Let's see, and then I was also going to look up see where cross product plays next. I'm not going to try looking at the losers bracket. That's too undecided at this point. But
yeah, I'm waiting on the results of 2 matches before I have any idea who I'll be playing.
Yeah, cross product will be playing Cerberoth in the next match, so that should be a lot of fun. Cerberoth, who is one of the biggest proponents of dab. If you caught my first commentary with him the other night, he just loves dab, so this should be a lot of fun to watch.
Bingo and dab are both fantastic.
Oh, they
far
really
more
are.
than like 80% randomizer too. You guys can love it all you want. I think bingo is just the best kind of race because you can practice just a couple tricks and then do these weird routes and have a great time. And the skill difference, you can make it up a lot more. Dab's a little more difficult, but anyone looking that's maybe a little less experienced, just regular bingo races are great fun.
Yeah, no, dab is actually absolutely a great category. This was a lot of fun. Had 2 great races today. Guess that's about it for us then. Let's see what is coming up on SpeedGaming. SpeedGaming, pull up that SpeedGaming schedule. So let's see. We have, looks like next on this channel, not till 10 o'clock, is the Zelda 1 Randomizer Weekly Race. We also have going on the weekly combo randomizer between Super Metroid and A Link to the Past. That's over on SpeedGaming 5, it looks like. Link to the Past Daily Race on SpeedGaming 4. And some Link to the Past overworld glitches. I'm sensing a theme here over on SpeedGaming. So a lot of stuff going on. Tune into any of those. And don't forget to tune in for our match tomorrow. This should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, lots of good things staying on the channel. That's Super Metroid and Link to the Past randomizer. If you've never seen that, you should go watch that. That's unbelievable to watch.
That's pretty crazy. It's 2 great games mashed together. I won't say much more about that because if you haven't experienced it, you need to experience it. But that'll be it for us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, chat, for watching. Thank you, Iora, for joining me on commentary. Commentators, our trackers.
But thank you to our commentators too.
Yeah, you guys can thank me. I don't want to thank myself. Spaghetti Toast Book and Link Force for doing the tracking on both of these races. Be sure to follow these runners. Both absolutely a lot of fun to watch. So, Cross Product and Ddraig, like I said, they do a lot of Super Metroid, a lot of randomizer. Cross Product also doing a lot of the Link to the Past stuff as well. So be sure to follow those guys and my co-commentator and our trackers. And be sure to
don't follow me. Follow those guys instead. They play much more actively than I do.
Never hurts to get a few extra follows. But yeah, that'll be it for us. Also, thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting all this, and to all the organizers on both the SpeedGaming side and on the DAB tournament side. And thanks to the runners. So that'll be it for us again. My name is Tracy, this with Iora. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be.